Car hack. Here we go. Screwdriver taken out. Okay. It's time. Oh, put the wrench over the screwdriver handle. Yeah, you can do that. My dad showed me that when I was like 5, but I have snap-on screwdrivers that have the hex made into the shaft.
You know, I don't think I knew about that until about last year.
Yeah, I did it. I mean, my dad showed me a long time ago. You could put a wrench on top of a screwdriver and go, but then, like I said, Snap-on makes them with the hex. You could also put like valve grinding compound on the tip of it to keep it from spinning. That works too. Ooh, we have to make a video about that.
But to be fair, I say that's legit because I have found that useful in a few different applications.
Yeah, but you're like the strength of a bird, small animal that lives in the yard.
Hey.
But I wasn't going to say squirrel or nothing. This one is a guy with a die grinder and a pair of pliers, and he's making grooves longitudinally in the pliers. Oh, he's okay. He's making hose clamp clips, pliers. I have a pair that are like that. They have the groove on them already.
If you get a good enough pair of pliers, that have good thick teeth, you don't need to make a groove the other direction.
Yeah, it'll work.
If you're in a spot.
That's true.
You know, that's pretty.
That looks like a
innovative.
Tight area that normal pliers.
He could get his camera and his light in there. How bad can it be?
Yeah, if you can see, you can get to it.
Exactly. Just use your vice fingers. Just reach down in there with your fingers and squeeze it and just slide it out.
There are some that are that weak you can do.
It's legit though, right? You can do it.
Yeah.
Legit.
I think, yeah.
It's not bad advice. Next car hack. Okay, here we go.
All right.
How to prime your turbo the easy way. Ooh, the easy way.
You don't prime a turbo.
You just...
They come
with oil.
pre-oiled.
Oh, with oil. I got it. So he's running the engine with a screwdriver stuck in the turbo so the oil flows through the turbos before the bearing starts spinning. Now, when it cranks up, it's not spinning fast enough to really hurt anything. So the oil should get there in time.
How fast is...
Why would you have to?
You don't need to.
No,
That's why.
No, you just crank it up. How many turbo failures have you seen because the guy didn't stick a screwdriver in there before he started it?
0.
Yeah, I agree with that. How many have you seen because the guy stuck a screwdriver in there?
Well, many.
Yeah.
Or
that
because
happens.
a foreign object went in there.
Exactly.
Yeah. Either coming out of the
It
engine
ain't
or
gonna
going
hurt
into
it.
Come on, you're spinning for 3 seconds. Bad advice.
Bad advice.
Bad advice. Next car hack. Grips on
Rusted vice grips.
tied up with wire on a brake line. Okay, so you have a bad brake line or a wheel cylinder and you just pinch it off. Now, these are completely rusted and have been there for like 5 to 7 years. Mine were only there till I got back to the shop. So,
Temporary.
yeah. Plus, you have no brakes on that whole
Or
rear
axle.
axle. That's a rear axle. So that's like no rear brake.
This is some kind of wiring job.
You've done this before, right?
Yeah. I have.
That's actually your car, isn't it? That's your car that we go to lunch in now, isn't it?
Yes.
You don't have any rear brakes on your car,
Nope.
do you? So they could do power brake burnouts. It may be legit for that.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
looks
you
like
got to fix it when you
get.
get back to the shop. This has been on there way too
That's
long.
a temporary fix.
Temporarily permanent.
In this case,
Too much.
long time.
Yeah.
Way too long.
But is it legit?
I'd say it's legit.
Yeah,
Just
it's
for like,
legit.
if you're in a fix, you're in a bind.
Right. Next car hack is... So he's going to take an air hose and repressurize a brake cleaner can.
He's not wearing safety glasses.
He's squinting. It's the same thing.
Safety squints.
Safety
No.
squints, yeah.
What? You don't use safety squints?
Let me ask
Well-
you, how many times have you had the air run out before the fluid on a brake cleaner can?
Ooh, when I was much younger. Not so much anymore.
Yeah, I have never had a brake cleaner can run out of air first.
I kind of want to try that.
I legit,
But-
so we have to turn the can upside
But
down.
the thing is, with this can, it has to have the little plastic coming out. You can't do it
Oh,
the
it's got to
other
be an
way.
Audi. If it's an innie, it doesn't work.
Right.
Do you know it doesn't work? Have you done this? Or
No,
are
I
you
have
just
no idea.
speculating?
Not-
So you may be able to do it, but I wouldn't recommend it, especially when it's like $5.
Yeah.
So what's your hand or your eyeballs worth if that can explodes? The likelihood of it exploding is probably not very high, but still, that's a lot of effort for a $4 or $5 can of brake cleaner.
I have had a few cans that were just went dead
Bad
way
advice.
too early.
It's definitely bad
Yeah,
advice though, because somebody that doesn't know how to do that is going to blow their hand off. Okay, customers said they haven't done an oil change in forever. Oh, yeah.
Milky.
I can go for a frappe right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe
So,
chocolate milk.
yeah, that's probably not, that, it's also too free. That is not from no oil change. They have something else is wrong with that car. Yeah, they have a coolant leak inside the motor. And because it came out so much and so fast, that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot. So yeah, that's a broken engine. That is not an oil change problem.
Catastrophic failure.
I mean, it'll be catastrophic, repairable. I think catastrophic is non-repairable. I can fix that. Unless it's just a girl
find the
and
right
she's.
size of Torx I need.
Oh.
How cute!
So she presses her thumb against a Torx screw.
I think it's a
and
cute.
makes
I mean,
makes
I like
the imprint
that.
on her thumb and then matches it up to the tool. That's kind of brilliant. That's literally kind of
not bad.
brilliant.
Drink more water.
I don't think with our fingers we could do it. Just like
No.
most of the time, too many calluses.
I would have to like melt my finger and burn it in there, and then I could see.
How I would
Well, you'd never
find the
forget
right
what
size
size
of
it was.
Torx
Yeah,
I need.
I could just do different ones on the finger, and I could just line up my finger to each one and go, oh yeah, that's a 27.
Yeah, you gotta choose between
It's
standard
legit.
and.
Yeah, I could have metric on one side, standard on the other.
But then you have to choose 5.
That's true. There's only like 5 different ones on Ferraris anyway. That's legit though. I gotta give her some props. That's pretty clever.
I think it's clever.
She needs a manicure though.
All right, what's this?
They're gonna test to see if the valves are seating. They're gonna pour water in the chambers, and then they're gonna push air into the cylinder and see where the air comes from. Or one of them's just gonna all of a sudden just gonna not hold it all
Disappear.
and disappear. Nope, they're gonna blow air.
Okay.
That's a motorcycle head. But you'll see the little leak right there.
What would you do instead?
No, that's actually not a bad plan. If you want to see which one, because clearly it's not leaking very much, so it probably did decent on a compression test. But there's something that they just want to see because it's not draining out, and you don't see it pouring out of the port. A lot of times you'll just see it pour right into the port, but that's very small.
I've done that with brake cleaner, not water. There's a lot of brake cleaner. Then you just look for the brake cleaner in the
Which
ports.
port, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, legit. I've done it.
Oh, the dimples.
Oh, dimpling the port.
That's a lot of time.
It's a lot of time and effort. And I can guarantee you, if we were to flow test that on our Superflow 600 flow bench, it would gain flow, but not enough to be
Let's read
worth
the comments, because commenters are usually smarter than all of us.
No power was gained.
Well, I don't agree. The dimples actually do create an issue, and partially, I think on some cars, if you have a carbureted version, it keeps the fuel from sticking to the wall. But
I know several companies offer this in
Right.
some of their porting jobs, and even I think they say it's negligible.
and time consuming. Plus, he only did one runner, and like if you have a 12-cylinder, you're gonna be there all day, and some of tomorrow. While it may be legit, probably not recommended. Big waste of time. You're not making enough horsepower in anything that most people are learning from YouTube to warrant that. All right, so this dude's trying to get a tail light out.
I've had
Stubborn
problems.
clip, and he just puts tape on it, and then yanks on the super. Oh yeah, okay.
Did he just break it in that video?
He might have.
Well, it's already broken.
Oh, well, yeah.
I mean, I'd
So
be
just
scared.
yank it out?
I'd be scared that tail light's going to come and whack the paint.
Yeah.
That's
absolutely.
legit though. I think that would work. I could see that working.
If you could do it more.
Especially since it's
controlled.
already
If you could just-
broken, he doesn't really want to save that. All right, so this guy is drilling out a bushing
He's just walking the drill bit around the bushing.
to walk it out.
I've tried this. I have yet to get it to work. I just use a socket and a press.
Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with how stiff the bushing is to begin with. So, and I'm sure that looks like a big truck, so it probably works on that kind of stuff. A lot of the stuff I do, it actually has a sleeve and a washer, and you couldn't get to it anyway, so you just use heat and burn it out. Yeah, it's probably legit, but I don't have an application where I could use it.
Selective application.
And as long as that guy uses it, and if I ever become a diesel mechanic, I'll probably use it.
I feel
So,
like
yeah.
that's one thing that you see. It's like, oh yeah, try this, and it's really actually not that easy ever.
Right. Okay. Jump.
not to-
Oh, how not to jump start a
I
car.
hate seeing this stuff. I hate. Ooh.
So I've done that, but the problem was the red was on the negative terminal. I didn't get it to that point.
Bad advice. Don't start your car backwards. Oh, yeah, okay. How to get the engine out in a hurry. Take all
Chop
the
shop?
bolts out and stand back.
Chop shop?
No, I think he's got a table under it, so I'm thinking he's got a beam on the top, but the beam wasn't tied to anything. Yeah, that's a bummer. Yeah.
Hope you weren't saving that.
Hey, fellas, watch this.
That's a bad.
At least he was smart enough to just move his hands
Run
back,
away.
and back up, and go. Yeah,
You're not catching.
We're not catching that. We're just gonna let that land over there.
Transmission.
That is so cool, though.
Transmission's what, 200-300 pounds sometimes? And
Well, yeah, but
an
that's the whole engine and gearbox and everything. That's the whole
little
shebang.
4 cylinders.
Yeah, that's bad advice. Yeah, you better secure that little top device, or it's just gonna roll right out of there. Okay, so they're putting a clutch in, pilot bearing.
The bread in the pilot bearing.
I've heard that and seen that in so many.
I've heard of it. Some people have tried it with wet paper.
I've done it with wheel bearing grease like 50 times. Because it's just hydraulic pressure at that point. The grease becomes the hydraulic fluid, and you drive it in, and it pushes the bearing right out. I've never used bread.
Maybe you should try it next time.
Yeah,
Maybe make a sandwich afterwards.
You could.
Not with that bread.
Not with that bread, but it is environmentally friendly, and you can feed the birds when you're done. You can't do that with grease. Grease makes a mess. It's not responsible. But anything that you can compress would push the bearing out. Doesn't matter what it is. So yeah, legit.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a soccer ball in a door to pop out a dent. Yeah, I think you could probably do that.
I've seen other things.
I think the problem you would run into it is getting the soccer ball to push just in the right spot. So the dent would have to be perfect.
Oh,
in the
it
right
did not.
place.
I don't believe that.
I don't believe the final product there, because you can see some really fine pinpoint.
Oh, no, I'm
dents.
sure it pushed the whole thing out completely fine. And it was actually mirror smooth, just like that.
No.
100%. The ball did all of that. Absolutely. It just depends on the pressure and the ball. You've got to get the seam in the right spot. You got to get the seam in the right crease. And it's going to push. You won't even have to push on it yet. Absolutely. You can take a dent out like that with the soccer ball.
It would definitely probably limit the amount of time that your paintless dent removal.
It has to be a minivan, and it has to be a soccer mom.
It's true. Because
That would be a soccer.
If
mom
you
hack.
if you were like a football player or played baseball, it wouldn't work. Yeah, you can push the most of it out, but you
you
can't
can
make
use
it
the
smooth
football in
like
like a fine tuning.
it's kind of legit, but it doesn't give you the final results that they're showing. So it's a half lie.